Hello everyone, it's Tastical here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make a woven women's wallet. This has been highly requested, so let's get started. So first of all, you need a cutting board, an X-Acto knife, a pair of scissors, a ruler, and at least 2 different duct tapes. I'm going to be doing denim and purple today. Since I'm doing 2 different colors in my wallet, you're going to make sure that you have 4 pieces of tape that are 16 inches long of each color that you're using, which is 2 in this case. So here I cut 2 pieces that are 16 inches long, and then 2 pieces of the denim tape that are 16 inches long. And we're going to do this again at the end, but this is just to show you guys the main idea of what we're doing here. Now we're going to cut it down the middle to make it 8 inches long for each and every piece. Then all we have to do is fold them in half, and we have our strips for the weave part. You can definitely cut them in half to make smaller strips to weave, but that does take a little bit longer, and you have to be a little bit more careful to not make it slanted, so this way is a lot more easier. So like I said, we're going to be coming back and doing this once more. We're going to make sure that we have a total of 8 pieces of tape that are in both of the colors. So we have to make sure we have a total of 16 strips of tape. That's why I guess you got a fighter jet. I don't get to fly it though I'm lying down thinking about you. Next, we're cutting 2 pieces of tape that are 8 inches long, and I'm using the denim tape. You can choose whichever color. So out of the 2 colors that you chose for the weave, you can pick one of them. And I cut them in half, as you just saw. And now I'm going to be putting these aside. Next, you want to start lining up the strips of one color. So I'm just going to be choosing denim again. So I'm going to take the denim strips and I'm going to line them up where the top is at an even line. So as you can see, I'm lining them up on my cutting board so that the tips touch that one mark. And yeah, you just want to make sure that they're all lined up right straight next to each other. You don't want to leave any gaps in between. And then I'm going to take one of the strips and I'm just going to lay it down about a centimeter, maybe a little bit less than a centimeter on top of the strips. And you also want to make sure that you don't see any sticky, so make sure that you find the good side of each strip and put that side facing forward. Next, we're going to start the weave. So we're going to take each strip from the other color, which is purple in this case. And we're going to start weaving it by going over and under each flap. As you can see, I just switched the pattern by going over each and every flap and under each and every flap. As you can see, this is how you weave. Now, if you want to do it with 3 colors, it's a little bit different. All the steps are different for 3 different colors, but to do it, all you have to do is weave it the same way you would with 2 colors, and then you have the tri-weave. If you saw my 5 women's wallet videos, you will see the tri-weave that I did. That one is the same way I made this one, but a little bit different in some of the steps. But like I said, I'm just going to finish off weaving it. You can do it in different types of weaves. This is just the basic one. If you want me to do a tutorial on a different type of weave, I would be glad to. So for this last strip, I did have to cut it a little bit. And I cut it about maybe 3 millimeters, and then I fitted it under the last flaps. Now you want to take the last strip and get the weave, and you want to lay this on top of it, just like you did on the top, and you want to keep it about 3 millimeters or maybe a little bit less than a centimeter on to that other end. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to fold over these edges, like so. And then we're going to trim off all this excess on the sides, so that it's a nice clean edge. Then we're going to take another strip and line it up just like we did on the top and bottom. We're just going to lay it about a centimeter or less on the side and fold it over. And then you want to do the same thing to the other side. We are then done with the first part of the wallet, which is the woven part. Now we're going to move on to the main part of the wallet, and you just want to fold this piece in half so that it's at a nice crease and that it's even. So now we're going to take the purple tape, and this is going to be on the inside of the two billfolds in the wallet. So you want to cut it to make it 16 inches long, and you want to take 2 of these strips, so 2 more strips that are 16 inches long of both colors. This is going to be, like I said, on the inside of the billfold. You're really not going to see this at all, so you can do whatever tape you want to, and I'm just going to put these aside. Next, I'm going to take one flap, and I want to put the other flap on top of that to make it 3.5 inches tall, because when we fold the woven part, it equals 4 inches, so we're going to do it about half an inch less, so it's only 3.5 inches, like so. I just overlapped it, and I just checked it to make sure it's not too big, and then I'm just going to grab it, and I'm going to put it aside and do the same thing to the other 2 strips. Taking the denim tape, we're going to do the same thing and cut another 2 pieces that are 16 inches long. I ran out of my denim tape, so I have to get another roll. By the way, this wallet doesn't really take that much tape. In this case, it did because I started off with a small roll. But if you have an entire roll, it should not use up the entire thing at all. It should only use maybe like a fourth of a big roll and maybe like a half of a smaller roll. Anyways, I'm gonna cut them into 8 inches long pieces, so I have 4 of those. And we're gonna put the sticky side onto the parts that we just made a while ago. And we're just gonna line it up like so on the sticky side, and then we're gonna fold it over to make the trim on top of the billfold, and we do the same thing to the other piece. Next, we will be making the card pockets. So we are going to cut 4 pieces of tape that are 15 inches long. I'm going to be doing it of the purple tape and the denim tape. The denim tape will be on the outside of the wallet. It'll be on the outside of the card pocket, sorry. So this is the tape that you're going to be seeing. So once again, you can do whatever color. You don't have to do purple. You could do whatever color. It could even be like gray or clear tape, whatever you want to do. Now we're going to cut the card slot. So you want to cut it at 3 3/4, 7 1/2, and 11 1/4. And this is going to be making the card slot sizes. So to make the card pockets, it's really easy. I skipped ahead here. You just want to take 1 strip and another strip of the inside color, and you just want to place it sticky side to sticky side like so. And I'm going to repeat this to make all 8 of them. There's going to be 4 on one billfold and 4 on the other billfold. So now we're going to be making the trim and the attachment pieces. So you want to cut 2 pieces of tape that are 15 inches long, 1 of the trim color and 1 of the attachment color. The attachment color is basically be what tape we're using to attach the cards onto the billfold, which will go onto the wallet. So this part you will be seeing. So same thing, I'm going to cut it on the 3 3/4 inch mark, 7 1/2, and 11 1/4. And then these strips you're going to cut straight in half. And then to trim, you're going to take 1 of the pieces and you want to line it up. I do have a video detailed on trim. I'll link that in the description. But anyways, you just want to overlap it on top of the edge about 1/4 of an inch. So once again, I'm laying it on my cutting board and I'm laying the straight side on it, 1/4 of an inch. So once I do that to all of them, I'm going to get 1 of the billfold pieces and take a card, and I'm going to get 1 of those attachment tapes and I'm going to put it on, like so. Half on the card, half on the billfold part. And you want to make sure that when you put these cards, you line it up to the very edge, as you can see. And you just want to do this for both flaps.
Yes, of course. I remember how did I forget how you feel.
Next, you want to cut a piece of tape that is 3.5 inches long. I accidentally cut 2 pieces, but you only need 1. I'm going to rip that in half, and this is going to be on the center of the billfold to close the center of the card pockets. The outer part of the card pockets we will close in a second, but first we're going to do these and make sure that it's neat. Sometimes you might have to cut it because I did rip it, so it kind of made like a rough edge on one side. But I'm choosing denim once again because it's going to match the main color of the wallet. Thankfully, we're on the last part of the wallet. We're cutting a strip that is 16 inches long, cutting it in half to make it 8 inches, and then split it in half. So we're first going to take one strip, lay it right on the trim that we put way beforehand, and we're putting the billfold piece on one end and folding it over. I hope this makes sense. But we're just going to lay it onto one side, flip it over, and then attach that piece of tape onto one of the billfold pieces. Like so. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to line it up with the trim we made earlier. On this side I had to cut it a little bit. And then we're just going to fold that over. Same thing on the last piece. Once again I had to trim it. And then you fold it over. Now, the very last step that you have to do is to cut the top of the card pockets and the slits of the billfolds to make sure that, the cards can fit. So I'm going to take the X-Acto knife and we're just going to cut on top of the trim so that the cards can enter properly. A lot of trimming you have to do here real quick. And then we're done with the wallet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and please comment, like, subscribe, and watch more.